Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? What is up? The king of lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals Toriko. La la. Oh, I can't. I'm sick. Fuck, man. It's like I want to, but the wind in me and the congestion, it's not happening, bro. I just can't do the full opera effect of Toriko. For the past few days, I've been back in the States from my trip in South Korea, and I've been sick. I got a pseudo pharmacy in the corner. I've been like pretty sick, like mucus everywhere. All right, throat, nose, eyes. That was kind of freaky. Eyes, mucus everywhere. So I'm like, okay, fine, listen. I'm not in a good condition to do videos, but I'm feeling a lot better today compared to 2-3 days ago. Hence, you're seeing videos now. But it's going to probably come out Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday today. So, that being said, Toriko, chapter 391 and 392, discussion review. Because we're going to talk, all right, for a bit of time. Because this is, it's like these past 2 chapters have been like insane. Like Toriko versus Acacia. And like the would-be end of Acacia. And the other demon, he's like erupting, burning thing. I'm like, what? Dude! But, it's like there are some things where I'm like, yo, like what the hell's happening right now? So, first and foremost, let me say this. The overall pacing and the structure is wonky. It's like, what the fuck is happening here? It's weird, man. It's really weird because it's fucking everywhere. Like, I didn't realize that Toriko's hands were bit off in chapter 391 until Acacia mentioned how his hands back in chapter 392. I'm like, wait, he lost his hands? And he did. But you gotta look really closely because it's not really noticeable. But it makes sense given how he punched at Acacia's mouth, but still it's like it's not really like showcased like, oh, he has 2 stubs. Then you have like the speed blitz session of Acacia where he attacks everyone in chapter 391, where he's attacking Guinness, he's attacking Darius, and then he attacks Coco, Zebra, Sunny, Komatsu, and Brunch. Get half their bodies eviscerated. You have everyone being assaulted, but then in the next chapter, it's like, actually, no. Like, the Gourmet luck of Starjun was taking all the damage for them. Like, what? Like, it's murder. In all honesty, it's murder. It's one of, like, the worst points of Toriko post-time skip. The overall pacing and the structure. And in these 2 chapters is a prime example of that. So even though the events are, like, epic in their own right, i.e. Acacia slamming it down with one, like, energy hand, I'm still here, motherfuckers. In come like a flurry of like giant Neptune-class fish. I'm like, how many is like a dozen Neptune-class fish? I'm like, so how many planets can he destroy with all those fish? The man is like solar system level at this point. I'm like, nigga, it's cool as shit. Yes, but the structure is just like, oh. It's abysmal. When it comes to the position of characters, it's all wonky. For example, when Acacia in chapter 392, he is gonna slam his fist down at Toriko. Pear is right behind Toriko. But when Toriko eats that attack, Pear is nowhere in the vicinity. And you see how the attack itself is like taking up like a huge portion of their planet. So I'm like, dog, how the hell is Pear not in that shot when Pear was right behind Toriko? Again, when it comes to the entirety of part 2 of Toriko, it's been there. But as of late, it's like really distinct when it comes to the structure and pacing issues. However, this shit is still epic as all hell. All right, major events are unfolding. And Acacia is now like dead, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Like Neo/Acacia should be dead after the crazy universal finger of the 3rd Gourmet of Toriko, who was devouring the black cells. So what is he, like the white universe? The silver universe? I don't know. But he was consuming, like, he had him in the arm lock, so I'm like, yo, where you going? Where you going? Strong side, bitch. He's like, Toriko, you gotta say those words, all right? Yeah. Like, he's like, you gotta say those words, son. And the fucking finger. I'm like, it's epic, but fuck, it's done in a very poor manner. Now, on to the characterization. Characterization for these 2 chapters is relatively simple. One of the main characters that actually gets highlighted is Starjun. Not in the sense of he actually said or did shit, in the sense of his gourmet luck. Like, this threw me off massively in chapter 392. Again, his gourmet luck was able to, like, replace the damage that all the characters took. Or not all. I can't say the 8 Kings, because we don't see the 8 Kings recover. But we do see Tengu Brunch and Komatsu and Ube and Otake and Koko. They all recover because Starjun's gourmet luck brethren were taking the damage from Acacia's onslaught in chapter 391. When Acacia did a mouth wave, a mouth energy attack, and Komatsu, Tengu Brunch, and all those chefs, they were eviscerated. Half their bodies were gone. In mid-flight, son, half their bodies were gone. And nah, actually lie. Because the Gourmet Luck brethren took the damage, Toriko's hands were bitten off because he was doing like a rage rush. Like he was going boom, boom, boom. He was slamming it. He was slamming it on Acacia in the mouth. He had nubs. Now, you don't really see too well in chapter 391, but it's confirmed in chapter 392 via Acacia's shock reaction of seeing the hands return because he bit those hands off in the previous chapter. Well, the reason why his hands came back, quote unquote, was because they were actually still always there because the Gourmet Luck brethren took the damage. Like, what? Listen. Gourmet Luck, this whole causality manipulation is broken. It's not even fair. And so that is a new component of Starjun's Gourmet Luck. Because I don't recall that ever happening previously. Maybe it did. I'm not too sure. But it took the damage to where it appeared that Komatsu was eviscerated from the waist down. But actually, no, he was fine. Because the Gourmet Luck of Starjun, which is the Gourmet Luck of Froze, that saved them and casted a pseudo-illusion upon Acacia that actually they were blasted in two. Like, it's fucking crazy with the Gourmet Luck breath. It really is. It's not fair. And this dude Acacia proceeds to consume all of the Gourmet Luck. He consumes causality itself. So broken, so unfair, in so many goddamn ways, alright? Like, this dude Acacia has like a dictionary thick list of broken powers. I'm like, dude, like, well, why? But there's a limit to everything. And his limit is, apparently he's been overeating, right? That's the limit of Toriko, overeating. And you see that because, okay, this ties to like a point that's fairly strange, that I still don't understand fully. But that's going to be for overall story progression and whatnot. So let me stick to characterization. Characterization-wise, Acacia is getting the beatdown via Toriko. And Toriko is filled with that rage. It's a combination of rage and hope. You know, okay, fuck Acacia, Toriko. Let's go to Toriko. Toriko is filled with the rage. Pear, kind of fueled his rage. And because of that reason, Toriko, he's able to go all against Acacia. He's able to do the full course of rage and so on and so forth. But he also talks about the hope, because that's always been a core component of his character in this particular half of the series. Hope, and how he kind of embodies that hope. So through rage, he embodies hope. That's Toriko in this sense. And with his rage, he's able to overcome the despair situation that is Acacia, Acacia, what do I want to call him? Neo Acacia. And Neo Acacia, basically, he succumbs to that ultimately via the end of chapter 392. But in this case for Toriko, it's, again, not just rage. Even though the main thing here is rage, he also embodies hope, I guess, via the rage. And you see at the end of chapter 391, I believe, where, like, even though Komatsu was, like, blown in half, he's actually smiling like, well, listen, man, gotta have faith in me and all this. I forgot what he says exactly, but it's like, have faith in me, like, it's all good. We all smiles over here. It's the era of smiles, flamingo style, smile. Like, that was him. That is another part of the characterization, just reaffirming the fact that Toriko, even though right now he's the embodiment of rage in a sense, he also has that hope element to him. Now, we get to finally characterization Acacia. I mean, Pear has real characterization, Emitter as well, Komatsu no, Tengu Brunchy no, Tepe no. So again, mainly it's going to be, once again, Toriko, Starjun, and then Acacia. And in this case, Acacia in chapter 392 at the beginning, we find out for sure that his body is being taken over once again by Neo. And this is because of the compatibility of his full course, or his true full... Okay, shit gets weird here, but I'll talk about that later. So let's focus on his characterization. So he is losing control of his body to Neo. However, he still has control of his body. We get to see more of the attacks of Acacia. And in this case, the attacks have been souped up because he consumed the 8 kings in the previous chapter, chapter 391. So in that chapter, he consumes Guinness. I mean, like, the way he consumed Guinness was fucking savage, bro. It was beastly, man. Just dripping blood to the chin, down the neck, like, damn. Because Guinness, here's Guinness's head. Acacia grabs him by the back of his head and just eats his head off. Like, bro, like, whoa. Like, the way he did that was a statement to, like, everybody. Like, listen, I am the pinnacle of the food chain, okay? Me. Like, imagine the food pyramid. I'm above the fucking pyramid, nigga. I'm that dude. Like, whoa. Okay, damn. He grabbed Guinness by the back of his head and ate his head off. Darius, he got the tooth in, but I mean shit. Acacia still consumed like his neck or whatever. Bambina once again got like, Bambina got fucking rocked again. Moon got rocked as well. So the 8 kings, they get consumed in chapter 391 by Acacia. So his combat skill ups once again, and we see the result of that with the freaking fist, the gourmet fist, where he slams it down the planet first time, hits Toriko dead on, and then he produces like a dozen of bigger fists that are the size of their very planet. Each one could probably destroy a Neptune-class planet. Putting out there that attack, to me, clearly solar system level. In the previous chapters where it was the hands, that was crazy. When he does the bigger fist versions, it's... I mean, goddamn. But, of course, Gourmet luck, causality manipulation, forever broken massively, and the attacks get blown to the side. Because of that, he gets mad at the Gourmet luck, and he consumes all the Gourmet luck. The Gourmet luck is too much from the handle, so he does consume it all, but he's reached peak. He can no longer consume anything else probably at this point in time. That I find a little bit odd in of itself, and the reason why is this. The way Neo works, supposedly, is that whatever he consumes out of existence. But I guess in this case, not only is it an incomplete Neo, an incomplete fusion of human and appetite, because Acacia didn't eat his compatible ingredient, which is, and then on top of that, it is a forced union, I believe, because Acacia just consumed Neo, whereas when it came to Toriko and Red willingly sacrificed itself to be a part of Toriko. So it's an incomplete union, which is why we see like the boils whatnot reappearing. But also, even though something gets consumed out of existence, I guess the nutrients and whatnot, they still dispersed on Neo Acacia's body. So Neo Acacia does retain the nutrients, even though the original thing is consumed out of existence. So it's a little bit weird there, the details. Either way, that's the end result. The end result is that he goes beyond his limit and he's like a giant boily mass once again. This also may tie to what was going on at the beginning of chapter 391. Where Ichiryu was, where he saw Froze and then he saw what was going on there, because the whole area is like boily flesh, but that is still not confirmed yet. Finally, there's one last thing for characterization. Not Acacia, it is the other Gourmet demon inside Toriko, which essentially is like, I am way more powerful than you, and Acacia is like, wait, hold on, how? Like, Neo, you're losing to him? You're losing to him, bro? How can this be? And I'm sitting here like, yo, who is this dude? Who is Toriko's third Gourmet demon? Toriko has powered up significantly. He has attained wholeheartedly the Gourmet appetite of Red. And still, he can only use the powers of the other Gourmet demon for an instant. Like, who is this freak? Like, I don't understand. Like, why is he so powerful to where he can effectively decimate Acacia with one finger. One finger, and that's it. All right, Hokuto Shinken, and bruh, what? You're not supposed to be able to just poke Neo Acacia to death, but that's what apparently happened. Assuming that he's actually dead. Okay, so let's shift over to now the story progression and so on and so forth, and we'll start here. If Neo Acacia is dead, where do we go from here? Like, I would have thought, Neo Acacia, like, the pinnacle dude. I mean, maybe Acacia is dead, but not Neo. But if not the case, if actually Neo Acacia, if both Neo and Acacia are dead, where do we go from here? Is the series over? Or is there still, I mean, because there's still shit to cover. We still have what Tepe was sensing coming out of the planet, or we still have Area Zero. So, like, there actually could be space adventures, because here's the thing. Their planet is effectively fucked. Their planet has taken a massive beating. There's no way their planet can, like, still just chill. Like, there's no way. That planet is going to explode. Like, literally every human, every species left on the planet has to leave. Space adventure type of thing where, like, they go search out into the world. Like, Toriko's final attack, like, his knife attack, like, the planet was almost cut in two. I'm like, dude. Like, wait, okay. And, like, previously when Acacia slammed it down, I'm like, okay, bro. Their planet right now is pulling the Edward Newgate. Like, it is pain-soaked. Taking bullets and cannons and still trudging on, taking magma fists to the chest, half his face ripped off, and is still kicking. Like, nigga, what? How? Well, not for long. That's my guess. Is there a way to actually fix the planet itself? I don't know. There could be. Like, so hoping that with Area Zero, possibly. But, so, again, where the story goes from here, I'm not too sure. There's a lot of options available, but we gotta wait and see how that rolls out. So moving on from there, at the beginning of chapter 391, you have the whole thing with Ichiryu Froze, who was in the boiling mass among the strange foods that he's never seen before, and she was cooking whatever. This is clearly Neo related. Based on what we can assume, given a few things about the Blue Nitro themselves and the history of Neo, we can assume that Neo at some point was in the blue universe before it came to the red universe and probably consumed a fuck ton of blue nitro. And we do kind of see this in a little flashback, and like a little panel that Pear has in chapter, I believe, 392, where he remembers his, I guess, blue nitro brethren being consumed by Neo. Like skinny Neo. Whatever we see, like this mass in Time Zero, whether it be the food or the blue nitro, that's all stuff from the blue universe. And why is it here exactly, I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe Neo stored it in Time Zero for future use. Next is, I believe, the death of a few of the 8 kings. Guinness should be dead. Guinness should, in all rights, be dead. When you get grabbed by the back of your head, and then you get your head bitten off, you should be dead, bro. Bambina, probably dead. Skydeer, I don't think so, because Skydeer took a breath attack. Darius, probably dead. Whale King Moon, probably dead. Next after that, we have the beginning of chapter 392. And this is where shit really does get, I think, to me, it's still confusing. The whole compatible ingredient thing. And on top of that, Toriko talks about the true Acacia full course not being real, or like it was never compatible to him. Something like that. You know what? I'll read it to you. I have it saved right here. So he says at the beginning of chapter 392, after he talks about how Neo was probably like coming back because Acacia, he's not starting to mutate, Pear says this. So then it's as I thought. Acacia, ... Toriko says, yeah. Then he says this. He never ate his compatible ingredient, which means Acacia's true full course never existed. After having eaten my own appetite, I of all people know. So, and that's when Acacia says, no, not yet. Hold on, I'm still right here. So, this whole compatibility thing, like, that's not the way it was. That's not the way it was. But now it's the way it is. It's like, it used to be the case where you would consume something and it just so happened to be compatible with you, that person. Not where it was like you actually choose what is compatible with you. So the fuck. But here, he never ate his compatible ingredient. He's consumed his entire full course. But then he says, which means Acacia's true full course never existed. So we can assume that the full course, the planet's full course, Acacia's full course, that is what we've seen thus far. It is air, it is atom, it is earth, it is center, it is that full course. However, Acacia did mention that there was a truer, possibly a universal full course that he could consume in order to control Neo, in order to actually be one with Neo. And I'm guessing that full course that he talks about, Toriko, was a lie. But Acacia didn't get the chance to eat that true full course. He was going to after all this, but he couldn't get a chance to because he was fighting Toriko and company. So when he says it never existed, but he never got the chance to actually go and eat it. Unless they're talking about a different full course. Because once he consumed Neo, I believe he stated that there was a true full course that he was going to consume so he could make sure that the merger between himself and Neo was solid. Like it was like not gonna cause many issues later on. Unless he meant like he already consumed that true full course, but it wasn't compatible anyway. Like the compatibility thing, honestly, is a little bit irksome to me. I mean, there's the case here that I am missing something, or it could be the case where Michinoshi himself has not fully fleshed it out. I mean, there could be the case where there actually is a universal full course, but it's not compatible with Acacia or Neo itself anyway. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's, to this day, for me, a little bit strange. I still don't fully comprehend it, but I'll talk about that later in, you know, upcoming reviews, live reactions, and whatnot. Shit, man. All right. So, let's move on with that. Finally, first story, Acacia, Neo, Neocacia may be dead. Possibly Acacia, possibly Neo. Could be one of the two, or both. But it is the third Gourmet Demon Toriko that gets his arm in a lock. And is actually in the process, in this lock, he's devouring the black cells of Neo. This shocks Acacia. Like, how on earth could Neo be losing? The end result is a finger to the forehead, Hokuto Shinken style. And boom. So, is it the end of Neo, of Neocacia? I don't know. It's safe to say that the tables have drastically turned. My guess here is that he actually is defeated, but not Neo. I think Neo's still active, but Acacia is dead. That's my guess. So, I'm done. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. When it comes to the chapter rating, the real negative here is the overall pacing and the structure of the chapters, because it is everywhere and it's extraordinarily fast overall, and it's not really structured that well in general, and that does irk me, and it's been a repeating thing ever since, you know, post time skip. However, story-wise, we did make some huge jumps at the end of chapter 392. 391 does start off fairly fascinating when it comes to Ichiryu and Froze and the Blue Nitro and so on and so forth. So, overall, alright, let's do it this way. Chapter 391 is going to be an okay chapter. Chapter 392 is going to be okay plus. And the reason why they're only okay is because they're offset by the poor pacing and structure. Alright, if the pacing was better, if the structure was better, I will give it a higher rating. But because of the poor pacing and the structure, they offset the epicness of the fucking finger and the crazy fist and Acacia just eating everything and whatnot. Because it's cool, but it seems so rushed and it's so jumbled. Like, the impact, like, the singular moment of A King being defeated should be fucking monumental. When you streamline all their deaths like that, it's kind of like, I mean, like, you see what I'm saying here? It's like, it's crazy, but the impact is lost tremendously because of the problems with the pacing and the structure. So once again, okay and okay plus, and I'm done. King Lightning, I didn't get lost during me. I need some fucking water. Rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day. No. Fuck it. I'll see you later.